Right. So doing this again, Wolverhampton Wanderers comes across to me similar to Sunderland in the mid-2010s, where each year, slowly but surely, they degraded. The writing appeared to be on the wall 3 seasons prior when you looked at their previous team and the kind of feeling within the fan base and the trajectory of the club. And it feels like that. I remember last year under Gary O'Neill did a video about Wolves saying, that it's been a disaster so far and things need to change. Now, about 12 months later, and the same thing is happening again with their current manager. Wolves have lost their first 5 games of the season, equaling their worst start in the Premier League ever in their entire history. Victor Pereira, their current manager as well, of course, replaced Gary O'Neill and shifted things drastically. Beforehand, Gary O'Neill was conceding goals for fun. In the first 16 Premier League games, Gary O'Neill's Wolves conceded 40 goals. And then when Victor Pereira came in, they conceded only 29 in 22 games, changing the rate of 2.5 goals conceded per game to only 1.3. And that's a massive change. Victor Pereira came in to add some stability, especially at the back. And how's this season going? Not great. Granted, it is still early days, but the same issues is coming again, and the problem is, a lot of it is self-inflicted. In the first 3 games, they've already conceded 10 goals at home. Granted, one of them was against Man City, but conceded 3 to Leeds and 3 to Everton. It's not good. Yes, they did beat West Ham in the Cup, but beating West Ham isn't exactly that much of an achievement right now. And the thing is, right, if you imagine all of this, and Victor Pereira had a good, tenure last year, however, players have gone in the summer, we'll get into that. He's now been given a new 3-year deal last week. Yeah, Victor Pereira, as of last week, got given a new 3-year deal after losing his first 4 games of the season. It's a bit odd. You can respect them to, back the manager, but it is a bit odd. Of course, there's the ownership with Jeff Shee that even did a podcast last year which gave a lot of information about the club, which is nice that he spoke out like that. However, tide is turning against him, of course. If you're a Wolves fan, comment down below your thoughts, because it feels like it's just repeating the same cycle again, and it does feel like it is an inevitability that Wolves are going down. Comment, like, and subscribe, and Mazar Designs for the best football prints, all made by myself. Use code Vizeh for 15% off all items. Now, Wolves. I just want to show you their team, okay? So the team that played against Leeds the other day. Look at this, okay? Now, call me disrespectful, call me an idiot, but if you were to show me their team, I honest to God cannot really tell you much about anyone here. I know Jose Sarr, and even he's had his, people having a go at him recently. I can't tell you much about any of their team other than Gomez, really. And that's not to say that these players are therefore bad players because I don't know who they are, really. But it's to say that they're not screaming Premier League experience. For the vast majority of these players, if not almost all of them, their first Premier League team at this level is Wolves. When you've got a team that pretty much the entire group that you're starting, this is the first ever Premier League club and the first Premier League experience, it's going to be shaky. And the issue is because of last year, the same issues are coming up again, but this time they even have worse players to even save themselves. Keep in mind, they've let go of Matheus Cunha in the summer, which was by far their best and main player, sold for £62.3 million, and also Ryan Aït-Nouri, who, even though was a left back or left wing back, was again one of the better attacking players. Cunha is by far the biggest loss here, and the thing is, he's not really been replaced. Massive source of goals and creativity. Leadership also at times gone, and it adds more pressure onto the more attacking players. You can look at someone like Strand Larson that may have moments here or there, but it just adds more pressure onto him. Is he ready for it yet? Right, Nouri was massive on attacking transitions. He's now gone now. That pace, that overlapping ability is now gone. And there's been players that's gone in recent windows that haven't really been replaced. Nelson Semedo, that of course been there for a long time, he's now gone. That leaves a gap in defence and even a bit of leadership. And Craig Dawson, same thing. Left on a free transfer, contract expired, lack of leadership. Pablo Sarabia, again, lack of experience and some quality right there, and some depth. Gonzalo Guedes, of course, despite him not being the most, consistent player, still offers some depth in the team. And then there's defensively. They're simply too easy to attack right now. Multiple lapses in concentration. They're giving away too many easy crosses. They're not dealing with the crosses that's coming in and not winning their balls in the air. And they're just being too slow. And on top of that, they've not really got a consistent goal scorer. Stan Lawson should be the main one. He didn't even start against Leeds. No one scored more than 1 goal this season so far. And against Leeds, it showcased that they did go 1-0 up, and then they seemed to start defending for their lives inside their 18-yard box almost, and kind of just waiting for the pressure to hit. Where it just became an inevitability almost the second that they scored. Of course, with most clubs in the situation, ownership is of course the main kind of target right now. Big frustration, players leaving and not really being replaced with equal quality, and then the squad is even weaker than it was last year, and they weren't really in a good spot last year either. There was even chance from the game yesterday against Leeds of Wolves fans chanting, "You've sold the team, now sell the club." Now, why should Wolves fans stay with him? Well, financially, Wolves have been relatively stable, for the last couple of years, and they've invested in infrastructure within the team and maintained them to stay in the Premier League for quite a long time now. In terms of off the pitch, the commercial growth, all the Portuguese players and all that, they've become a bigger club worldwide. And part of the reason why they have so much money is because they seem to kind of be a lot more cautious on spending it than they are than other clubs, which is a good and a bad thing. Either you must like the fact that they aren't willing to, destroy the club, but it can also show a lack of ambition. When you're selling Matheus Cunha for £62.5 million, I'm not really seeing anyone they brought in that even comes close to replacing that. In the summer, Wolves wanted a player called Matthijs Abelin, which is a player from FC Nantes over in France. About €25 million they're looking at bringing him in, and he said no to Wolves. And an offer wasn't even made. He already said no to Wolves while they were considering an offer. And it feels like coming from a club that, had Raul Jimenez, and they brought in João Moutinho and Rui Patricio, Ruben Neves, it feels like they're kind of going downhill to players they can bring into what it used to. And one more issue, Jeff Shee, their owner, back in March 2024, put out a quote and said to Wolves fans, "If you want to win things, perhaps Wolves isn't team for you." Is it surprising that players that are ambitious may not want to come to a club where their owner publicly says, "If you want to win things, maybe this isn't the club for you"? Well, I checked the actual quote on this, and it's not far off, where she says, "If you want to pursue trophies or consistent European football, Wolves might not be an ideal choice." So what do they need to change? Right now, defensively is a main issue. Agbadu, who was a very good player from last year, in the second half especially, has been particularly poor, it appears to be, for the start of this campaign. A lot of critiques is on him. Jose Sarr, that you may from the outside think that he's a consistent shot stopper. Apparently he's also had a lot of criticism this season as well. It just feels down. It just feels negative. This is the same ownership they had during the entire Nuno era. The same ownership when they had that massive uprising when they were in Europe. It's the same ownership. It's just when I'm looking at their team, I'm seeing a massive decrease here in terms of quality. Like, huge. Up next, Wolves, they've got the cup game against Everton, which I don't think they care about anymore. Spurs away, that'd be a tough game. Wolves of old, I can see getting a result here, but right now, I can't see it. Brighton at home, I can kind of see Brighton beating them. And then, of course, there's the big games. Sunderland away, Burnley at home. If Pereira comes out after the Burnley game with not a win and hasn't really done that great in the other games too, I can't see how he keeps his job. I keep thinking that Pereira must have wanted to walk, must have wanted to leave Wolves. That's why they gave him a new deal to keep him on there, because maybe they didn't know who to replace him with. I don't think they'll get Nuno back. Or would they get Nuno back? I don't know, maybe. I feel like if Nuno is available, I would imagine Wolves fans would be very happy to hopefully get him back at the club. Especially as defensively, he is known to be a lot more better in that department. The Empress and Star, which has a YouTube channel which basically covers Wolves every single week. They cover the club, of course. I urge you to watch their videos if you do want to know more about Wolves. I want to just play a little snippet from their recent analysis from this game to showcase how do Wolves fans feel about the situation.
This team is so disjointed. Again, strange decisions, I think, with the team selection. Andre being dropped being one of them.
I'm stunned at some of the basic mistakes that this team are making.
Yeah. I mean, Agbadou's not the only one as bad as he was. The Wolves were lacking absolutely any creativity going forward. And defensively, they look like they're just so weak. They can be got at every opportunity. Even towards the back end of the game, there's got to be some major change in the way that they go about trying to play, because from start to finish it was a disaster.
That was 11 individuals on a pitch today.
Yeah, no team.
It was
embarrassing, mate. It was embarrassing. To be perfectly frank, we're sat just above the director's box here. the people in those seats down there should be frankly embarrassed watching that performance.
Pathetic.
It was awful.
In football, there's of course highs and lows. The issue with Wolves is that this isn't the first time they felt like this, and it appears to be a repeating cycle where each year it seems to get worse and worse, with quality thinning even more. But I want you to comment down below, tell me your thoughts about what do you think is going on in the club, and I'll see you boys next time for another video. See ya.